We have a vocabulary, that's true. And also we contrast and we use different ideas in the sentence. When we use linkers, we need to recognize the type of information we have. If we have a clause, if we have a noun, if we have gerund. Also, sometimes you just need to use a verb, but it's not all the time. So in here, we need to remember, in order to contrast, we have the vocabulary that Alejo mentioned previously. Even though, although, whereas, while. When we mention clauses, a clause is basically a subject plus a verb, and most of the time, complement. But it's not necessary all the time. It is included, is part of the clause, but it's not always there. So when you find, or when we mention clauses, this is the noun, this is the verb, this is the complementary information. That means that this is a clause. With though, same situation. It goes in the end, but it is preceded by a clause. So you can say, whereas I'm tired, I will go to your party. In the case of in spite of and despite the fact that, in spite of and despite, with a noun, her success is just a noun. Having success is the gerund idea. So sometimes noun, sometimes gerund. If you want to use a clause, you need to include the fact that. If you include this part, the fact that, you can use a clause, like in here, in spite of the fact that, subject, verb, complementary information. And in the case of unlike is used with a noun. Unlike my friends, I hate shopping. You have a similar situation with reason. When you want to provide reasons, since, as, and because, they are the informal way, because the formal way could be because of, due to, as a result, due to the fact that. Both have this difference. Clauses with since, as, and because. Nouns with because of, due to, and as a result. The fact that, again, helps me to use those linkers with clauses. The library closed due to the fact that it had no money. Subject, verb, complementary information. And finally, therefore. As you can see, therefore has the characteristic of being after a period and before a comma. As a result, it can be a paraphrasing of this one, and it is a formal way. Remember, with clauses. And so has the similar situation after period and then a comma, but this one is informal. This is the first thing that we're going to practice. Now that we remember this topic, let's try to include it in simple sentences. This one. Number one, we have a you, comma, I actually enjoy driving. And then we have more sentences. We have in total 8 sentences. I need you to tell me what is the best option and if we are expressing contrast or if we are expressing reasons. For example, in the number one, what do you believe we're trying to use? Are we trying to contrast or explain a reason?
No, in the first one, we need to use a contrast, like unlike.
Okay. And why unlike is the best option?
Because
Okay.
I want to express the contrary idea, the contrary emotion that my friends is actually feel at the moment.
And do we need to use a clause? Do we need to use a noun? Do we
a noun.
use?
We need to use because you is a noun.
Yes, exactly. That's the main characteristic. For sure, we need to contrast, but the characteristic in here is that you represents only the subject of the sentence. Unlike is the best option. It has only you over here, so you is the best linker. What about the next one? They were badly delayed. Blank space, all the traffic. Do you need to contrast or maybe explain reason?
Teacher, I think reason, like as a result of, they were badly delayed as a result of all the traffic, because this is formal,
Okay.
and this is a clause.
All the traffic is a clause?
Yeah, I think so. I am not sure.
Okay, we have
Or maybe known.
we have a determiner, we have a definite article, and then traffic. Do we have a verb?
No.
No, exactly. So a clause? It's not a clause. Do we have ing?
No.
Exactly. That means that over here we're using
No.
just a subject or a noun. Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the reason over here, as a result of, is the best linker. What about the number 3? It says heavy snow is expected this evening. What is the type of idea that we have in here? Contrast or reason, I mean.
Reason.
Exactly.
We need to use therefore because the point, the dot and the comma.
Exactly. Because we have in here period, then we have comma, and we know that this is a characteristic of therefore. The number 4. Maria thought he was a lot of fun. Then I found him pretty annoying. Are we expressing contrast or reasons?
Okay, for me, this example express contrast.
Yes, it's contrast. Now, what type of information do we have in this sentence?
Maybe close.
Yes, because Maria is the subject,
Mm-hmm.
thought is the verb, and all of this is a complementary information. So what is the best option when we want to contrast and then we have a clause?
For me, whereas Maria thought it was a lot of fun.
Exactly, that is the option, whereas. So what about number 5? I don't jog or go to the gym. I do walk a lot.
Okay, it's a clause, of course. So for the
Is this contrast or reason?
it's a contrast. So we need to use while.
Yes, exactly, because we want to contrast and we have a clause, we need to use while. Number 6, I gave away my sneakers. I never used them. Is this a contrasting sentence or are we explaining reasons?
This sentence explaining reason. It's a clause is because of.
When we use because of, do we use a clause?
Yes.
Are you sure?
I'm not sure.
Obviously, if we include the fact that, because of the fact that, okay, well, that's different. But in here, we don't
Okay.
have that part, only because of. So when we have because of, you need to use a noun. In here, what could be a second option for you, now that you know that because
Due
of
to.
is not the best one?
Due to. I gave away my sneakers due to I never used them.
Since.
But due to is the same. Due to uses a noun.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's a noun.
So what is the
Okay.
remaining option? What is the last option?
Since because it's a clause.
Yes, exactly. Because we have in here a clause, you can
Okay.
recognize the subject, the verb, and the complementary information. Since is the best option. What about number 7? What do we do?
Okay,
Is
number
this
7
contrast
is,
or reason?
It's a reason. What did you say? Phrase? Sentence? It's okay.
The type of information?
There is a noun. There is a noun after the blank. So we need to use due to. A number of flights have been cancelled due to the bad weather.
For sure, because the remaining piece of information refers to a noun, we need to use due to. Exactly. Let's go with the last one. Some people find his movies really funny. Others just think they're silly. Is this contrast or are we talking about reasons?
It's contrast.
Okay. So what type of information or piece of information do you have? Do you have a clause, noun, gerund?
Noun. And for me, the answer is while.
Others, subject, think, verb. They're silly, complementary information.
Okay, it's close.
So as a clause, what is the best linker?
While.
Exactly. While is the best linker. So my friends, remember, in here is not just throwing linkers in the sentence. You just need to recognize what piece of information you have, and in that way, you will use the perfect linker for each. All right, so we already practiced a little with this. I believe that we can continue with another exercise. Now, we're gonna go this way. I'm going to play an audio, and with that audio, you guys are going to recognize the best way that we can paraphrase each sentence. I mean, over here, we have some options. Please help me reading the first 3 options.
Read, okay. A, this person was under medical care at the time. So she was not able to join them on their nuptials. Nuptials, I don't know the word, sorry.
You're gonna notice in the audio.
I know why it's nuptials, but I don't know how to say nuptials.
Pronounce nuptials, yes. No, you did it great.
Oh, nice. Okay, B. Airport passengers experienced delays and cancellation this week due to a strike. C. this person is very outgoing, while this other person is rather reserved.
All right.
Reserved. I don't know.
Reserved.
Reserved.
Like an F and then a D. Reserved.
Reserved. Reserved.
Mhm.
Reserved.
Okay, D. This person was involved in a road traffic accident, which has left him or her walking slowly. If these people had to reschedule their trip because of the heavy snowfall. If this other person is a hard worker, unlike many of his or her friends who are less
Lazy.
lazy.
Mhm. Let's pay attention to the first audio, and I'm gonna help you only with the first. If we listen to this person,
Ollie is very sociable, whereas Lucy is pretty shy.
what could be the best option that paraphrases this first audio?
C.
Yes.
Where's Lucy's very shy? Where's? Sorry, teacher, I have a little question. Although or even though is also linkers, right?
I was saying that even though, and although, the three of them are linkers that you use with clauses. Though is the only one that goes in the end.
Yeah.
Was that your question?
The question is, how do you know where to use although or whereas? It's like it doesn't matter at the end.
Well, the first thing to remember, we are using clauses. That's the first thing to remember.
Okay.
Now, although and even though could use in the following format. Even though helps to emphasize. Although is just contrast. So even though is a contrasting linker, but helps me to emphasize. That could be the difference. Now, in the case of while or whereas, it depends on you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, teacher.
Great. So let me go with the second. In the number 2, this is the audio.
He was in a car accident a few years ago. As a result, he walks really slowly.
D, teacher.
Please read that one.
This person was involved in a road traffic accident, which has left her walking slowly.
For sure, this is the best paraphrasing. Help me with the next one.
Nadia works very hard, unlike most of her friends.
For this one, the answer is F. This other person is a hard worker, unlike many of his or her friends who are lazy.
For sure. Help me with the next one.
We had to postpone our trip due to all the snow.
If these people had to reschedule their trip because of the heavy snowfall.
So over here, I believe that this is a word that you mentioned previously that you weren't sure how to pronounce. So let me help you. Some people say reschedule. Some people say reschedule, which is American. American, reschedule, and reschedule, British. So both options can be correct.
Reschedule
Reschedule.
and reschedule.
So we have two pronunciations.
Reschedule.
And yes, for sure, this is the best paraphrasing. That leads to the final 2.
I was in the hospital at the time. Therefore, I was unable to go to their wedding.
Yeah.
I just activated the option without knowing, so don't worry. That's the thing. This is the best paraphrasing. As you can see, nuptials, wedding. I remember that you mentioned nuptials at the beginning, but was related to the pronunciation, right?
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, so now that we remember the uses, we remember the pieces of information that we use in each of the linkers. Now we can go with conversations. I'm gonna show you list of questions. You have the suggestion, the type of a linker that I suggest you to use in your answer.
Okay. So what do you turn on your computer on?
Okay, in my case, I turned my computer for my class of English. Yeah, because I don't need all the time, and in order to I don't use much my computer in all of the day.
Let's say there are homeless people asking for money on the streets. However, that money isn't always to buy food. Speak your mind about it.
Okay. Unlike a lot of people to need the money for for food and use it that way. It's true that some people prefer use the money you gave them to buy drugs and alcohol. It's sad.
Yeah, sometimes it's a facade.
Yes, but at the end, I don't know. I prefer to don't give any money, just the food. It's better.
Well, it is still an option because you're still helping and you're still giving a solution when they ask money for food. Please, one question.
Despite being tired, why do you always do not matter what? I repeat, despite being tired, what do you always do no matter what?
While I am tired, I always prefer, I don't know, read to book, sleep.
No, the question is despite. So, no matter if you're very tired, you always do that no matter what.
So you
Okay.
emphasize the obligations that you have.
Yeah.
I noticed that you paraphrase despite, and yes, that was a good way to paraphrase. But the actual question refers the things that you always do without it being relevant, your mood, or if you're
Okay.
tired.
I understand. Okay. Despite being tired, I have to work. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you
And
ask,
and I have to the gym at the night.
Oh, nice.
despite being
I'm
tired,
Yeah.
Okay, unlike Maria, I don't go to the gym if I'm tired.
I have to say that I admire Maria because that's not something that I would do.
Ah, okay, me too.
But if you ask me, despite being tired, I always take a shower before going to sleep. It doesn't matter that I've
No.
worked all day. I always take a shower no matter what.
No,
But
in my case, I have that. My mother, I love it to the gym, and I have. How do you say this?
voluntad,
Yeah,
willingness. You have a strong
willingness.
willingness.
Because of your future goals, what have you sacrificed in your life?
Sacrifice my life.
Haven't you sacrificed anything?
Let me check. Let me check. Sacrifice. Maybe. Okay, yeah. Because of my goals, I had to sacrifice some of my free time to, to spend gaming.
So you have sacrificed a part of your time.
Yeah, my free time. So in that time, in that time I sacrificed. I use it for studying and preparing myself.
Yes, that's the kind of sacrifices that we do in life, for sure. Please, the final question.
Okay. Okay. So okay. Due to the fact that we always need to save money, what have you done about it?
Okay. Due to the fact that we always need to save money, I have done save money like monthly. Yeah.
So I have saved money
I
monthly.
have saved monthly for sunlight. Yeah.
Okay, so you have saved your money.
Yeah. Like I don't know, 50% my
Wow.
no no
Wow, half of your
bills.
salary?
No, 50% my bills, 20%, 30% like wishes, and 20% it save money.
Okay, so you have
Is
multiple ways of saving
yeah,
money.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's correct.
Well,
Okay, gotcha.
No,
most of the people
50%.
say
No,
most of the people
50% to
say
save money. No, I
I
can't.
can't imagine myself saving 50% of my salary. Oh my God.
50%. Wow.
No.
I wouldn't be able to make ends meet.
Yeah. 50. Most of the people save like 10% or 5% of their salary, whereas I only save like 2%. Yeah, I need to.
Well, but in the end, at the end of the day, you're still saving money, and that is the idea.
Yeah,
You're still pursuing the goal.
Instead of save money, you need to make some invests. It's better.
Okay, well, that's another focus because if you want to have more money, yes, you need to diversify the ways that you earn money.
Yeah.
Exactly, that could be another form or another strategy. If you need to maybe buy something, you diversify the way that you earn money, for sure. Please, the final question.
Okay. Unlike the rest of the people of your age, what do you normally do on the weekends?
It's a good question. I feel like I'm doing all the all of my people of my age doing on the weekends. So
There must be something unique or something particular
something
in your life.
unique on weekends. Go to the books is not something unique, and go to a restaurant neither. Let me check. Okay, I got it. Unlike some, a lot of people, I think. I try to play with my wife, my girlfriend, my wife, some Pokemon cards.
Ah, well, there you go. That's something that most of the people wouldn't do, for
Yeah,
sure.
it's very unique, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Also,
Yes,
my wife
exactly.
also knows how to play with the cards, with Pokemon cards. So
Mm-hmm.
it's okay. Something weird, something nice.
Exactly. In that way, it's not only unique, it's also fun. It's something
Yeah.
entertaining for a weekend, for sure. All right. Well, my friends, I believe that we can stop in here. We talked enough about linkers.